It's a question most parents ask themselves at some point in their child-rearing years. Why is my kid such a slob? Well, Calgary working mom Jessica Stillwell got so fed up with cleaning up after her 3 very messy daughters, she did what most parents wish they could do. She went on strike.
That's right. Stillwell went on strike on October 1st in the hopes of instilling in her daughters the importance of hard work. She documented the resulting domestic chaos on Facebook and her blog as the dishes piled up in the kitchen and dirty clothes lined in the hallways. Now, it only took 6 days before the kids caved in as the strike ended. The success of this parental job action has many other moms and dads wondering if they shouldn't go on strike to teach their kids a lesson.
Globe and Mail columnist Lorraine Sommerfeld remains with us, as does social worker Gary Dernfeld. Now, Gary, if your kids are slovenly, lazy, is the problem theirs or is the problem yours as a parent?
It's yours as a parent. You know, so many parents these days worry about their kids growing up to be happy, which is totally wrong, Mark. They got to grow up their kids to be responsible. The degree to which we push down responsibilities on our children and not do it for them, then they learn to do things for themselves. Then they keep themselves out of trouble. Then they know how to do things. Then they are happy.
Lorraine, it's been several decades that women have been working full-time and yet have also been taking on the task of being a mother and a wife. And yet, we still continue to do the lion's share of the work. Why are we so reticent about handing over the responsibilities and letting other people look after themselves?
I think you probably know people that do this too. I know women that want it done to their standard. And to me, if I say to my kid, fold the laundry, and they fold it, I say it's perfect. I don't care how they folded it, it's perfect. Whereas a lot of people go, you didn't do it right. And most kids and spouses know that's the easy way out, is to do it wrong, and then mom will just keep doing it because she wants it done a certain way. You deserve the kids you've got. And if you don't require this of them at certain ages, I mean, my kids are slobs, because so am I, frankly. And I've got one who's trying to break out and become neat, and I don't know whose kid he is. But, but I think, you know, you set stuff, they do it. And, you know, our favorite around our house, when my oldest will go, is my shirt ready yet? Ready for what? What are you talking about?
Ready to be presented to his friends if you iron it. Gary, I'm wondering if, you know, the father-daughter relationship can be a tricky one. I'm wondering about sons and mothers when it comes to household chores. Can a son more easily go, Mom, can you do this for me, or whatever, and the mother gives in, and, you know, does your wife give in? And Lorraine, for you too, I mean, because you got sons, is it easier or tougher when you've got sons who generally, I mean, not always, generally seem to be lazier and sloppier than the girls, although maybe not so much anymore?
I hate to say it, but there's still gender differences.
See, I don't think that's based on gender.
Oh,
I got 2 boys, they're totally different.
I'm glad I asked the question then.
I think there may be less of an expectation to take care of your household chores as a boy than there is as a girl. You know, it still happened even though it's 2012. But is that right? Absolutely not. I mean, our son was doing his own laundry by at least 12 years of age. It was the expectation. If you want to have clean clothes, do your laundry. We actually disable our kids by not teaching them to perform these life skills. And then if they grow up with this expectation that maybe you have to do it because you have the breasts and I don't, that's terrible for a relationship.
That's never been said in my house.
Good. But that's terrible for relationships.
I won't lift laundry. My kids know I will not pull laundry up and down from the basement to the top stair or do garbage and stuff. And I'm not going to lift it because I tell them if I take a fall down the stairs and I get all broken, I can't work. And Ari goes, just make sure you don't break your hands, because he figures then I can keep writing.
So we want competent adults out of our children, and the only way they're going to have those competencies is to have practiced through their childhood and adolescence. That's up to us, the parents, to make that happen.
But Gary, Lorraine brought up something interesting, because she said how she was, questioning, who the father or mother was of her son who wants to be neat. I have a daughter who's 4 years old, and I'm not lying when I say she will come in and she will put all the shoes away, my shoes, my dad, her dad's shoes, her brother's shoes. She puts them away. She's fanatical about what has to be where. So I think part of this is DNA, and it's hard to instill some DNA in someone that just doesn't have it.
I agree. I agree.
Well, it may be more of a battle. Impossible, no. And it doesn't mean that we give up or give in, because the degree to which we do, that child goes, gotcha, and they'll never perform on their own. How good is that?
You also have to, though, is almost pick your battles when it comes to, if your kid's got a lot of great qualities, but they are kind of slobby, which is what I was. My mom was immaculate, I'm a slob. Don't make it just what you expect and want across the board. If your kid doesn't want to put their laundry away and they keep getting dressed out of the basket on the floor, no one's going to die. Like,
right.
You know, there's some
That's
stuff
right.
it's just not worth fighting over.
But shouldn't there be consequences? And shouldn't the child know what the consequences are if they don't perform the tasks that you give them?
Mark,
This
some
is
of these
why I don't like
consequences,
paying
one at a time.
They're just normal consequences. If you
What's
don't
a normal consequence?
If you don't take care of your clothes, you're going to look messy yourself.
But kids don't care about that.
At some point, they do.
Yeah, at some point, but wouldn't you like to nip it in the bud, though?
People will comment on that. So we can refer to natural consequences. As a parent, to maintain an expectation, it doesn't equal we're beating our kids up.
But can't you say
we're letting them take on
That's why I don't
responsibility.
agree, though, with paying them per chore either. There's things that you have to do to be
You
part
don't
of
pay your
this
kids per
household.
chore?
For chores? No.
Absolutely
no.
not.
If you want to be part of this family, there's things that you have to do, just like there's things I have to do that aren't predicated on money. They're predicated on being part of this family. And even people that come and stay with us or their friends that are there, they're part of that too at that time. So it's not about money.
Gary, this mom, she was on strike for 6 days. Is that a realistic amount of time to expect your children to completely change and get it?
They're embarrassed.
These are kids that were put through shame and embarrassment, as Lorraine says. And so I don't know that that's realistic to think that all the parents are going to go on strike and their kids will be marvelous after 6 days. No, it's about you, the parent, placing responsibilities, expectations on your children, and getting out of their way sometimes to allow them to perform it. And it's a bit of a learning process. As Lorraine said, maybe the beds won't have nurses' corners to start, but let's be thankful that they've started.
Well put. Gary Dernfeld and Lorraine Sommerfeld, thank you both for joining us and for your expertise as parents. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
When we come back, mothers with babies.